Hello everyone, good morning. I'm Teacher Mark. It is Wednesday, April 15th. This is 5A, and away we go. Today, we are in math class, we're gonna sort of wrap up the dividing and the fractions and that sort of thing. You guys did an excellent job on Monday of asking questions, especially when we had our Zoom class. I think that kind of helped answer a lot of the questions. But even after the class meeting that we had, a few people asked me a few more questions, and I'm more than happy to answer things like that. It was really good. You guys asked such good questions, and I'm able to. It's in some ways it's almost easier. I can work more one-on-one with you guys if you ask me, specific questions. So continue to do what you're doing. Hopefully, those things we did though will make it a little easier to do what we're doing today, which is just sort of some review. There's a little quiz about dividing fractions and things like that. It's only, I think, 5 questions. Don't let the word quiz scare you. It's mostly just to practice. So it's not really, I don't want you to get like test anxiety or anything, because it's nothing like that. It's just sort of to practice and have a little bit more review. Because if there's, if there are any more questions that come up, then I want to be able to answer those before we move on. Once you've completed the online quiz on Khan, there's also just a little worksheet. There's 10 problems. It's fractions with whole numbers. So sometimes the whole number comes first. Sometimes the whole number comes second. The important thing to remember is when you're working those problems, we have to invert the fractions. It's always the second fraction that you invert, whether it's the whole number or the actual fraction. But you guys, we've already got that cleared up. I hope I'm not confusing anybody. But yeah, today we're just going to do a little bit of review. We have to answer some questions on the worksheet. And then, yeah, that'll be it. In reading today, we're going to read, Augie is, he's in school. It's the first day, and they're going around the room introducing themselves. And you get to see, I have a little mini lesson video where I talk more about it, but you get to see how the students and the teachers sort of interact with one another, and it's a little different sometimes than how students talk to each other. So you get to see a little bit of that. Also, we're going to write down 5 words that we don't know, because that'll be important later. So just like we've done before, 5 new words. Let's write down the definition, the part of speech, and use it in a sentence, and then send those to me or Teacher Am before the end of the day. In English class today, there's also another little video that explains this a bit more in the daily lesson plan. But today we're just going to write about anything you guys want. A paragraph, really. We just have to write a paragraph that is at least 5 sentences that uses at least 3 of the words we wrote down earlier in language arts class. So I've given you some examples. Check out the daily lesson plan, because there's another video where I explain it, but I also have a link where I give you some examples. I kind of created a sample paragraph to give you an idea. Sometimes I find it's hard to think of an idea when no one gives you one. So if you guys have a hard time coming up with something, just let me know. I'm sure we'll figure something out. And the last thing is science class. Today it's a bit of review as well. We've been talking about matter's different states, the changing states of matter. And today, it's sort of just a summary of those things. We get to draw a picture of a thing, a solid, a liquid, and a gas. Any solid, liquid, and gas you can think of. There's a little mini lesson that's on YouTube that kind of shows you an example of what to do, basically. I was going to create my own artwork sort of example, but I tried and it wasn't as good as what I found on YouTube, because my artwork's terrible, but hopefully that will give you the idea. Really, just have to draw one example of each. It's kind of to help us sort of put these things together in our heads, the differences between them, and maybe some things, like common things around the house that are a solid, a liquid, and a gas. So let's just try and think of those 3 things. We'll draw them and send a picture to the teacher by 3 p.m. And that's essentially it for today. So you guys, thank you for asking such good questions. And if you have any more, please let me know. Otherwise, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.